United Kingdom video game spending grew to a record $5.7 billion, $7.43 billion during 2018, representing growth of 10% on 2017. That's according to data compiled by United Kingdom Eye, which shows consumer spending on both hardware and software rose year over year. Breaking that down, overall software revenues eclipsed $4 billion, $5.21 billion, at the first time ever, rising by 10.3% year-on-year. As the graphic below shows, digital sales led that charge, with digital and online software revenue rising by 23% to $2.01 billion, $2.billion. Physical sales stagnated somewhat, with revenue from boxed games dropping by 6% year-on-year to $717 million, $1 billion. Mobile games revenue, meanwhile, rose by 8% to $1.17 billion, $1.52 billion. Perhaps the most interesting tidbit on the software front was the decline in pre-owned sales. Revenue from used titles dropped by 38% year-over-year to $68 million, $88.6 million, meaning that fewer people, in the United Kingdom at least, are going out of their way to grab second-hand games. Game hardware also drove spending in 2018, with console sales rising by 6.5% to $702 million, $958.8 million. Despite a lack of new devices on shelves, PC hardware also performed well, pulling in revenues of $445 million, $579.9 million, while peripherals and accessories also saw revenue rise by 19.9% to $355 million, $162.6 million. As the image app below highlights, however, virtual reality hardware could not gather any momentum in 2018, and the VR hardware market witnessed a revenue decline by 29% to $72 million, $93.8 million in 2018. Overall, hardware accounted for $1.57 billion, $2.05 billion of the United Kingdom game market's total revenue. For more info on the United Kingdom video game market, including facts and figures from the world of game culture, be sure to check out the full report over on United Kingdom Eye. In this DD 2018 session, game developers Brandon Sheffield, Audrey Moon and Dambu Cho's chronicle the ups and downs of the development of their vastly different games to help developers better understand the game development process, one that represents a more personal artistic approach, while the other worked with the Spider-Man license. The last discusses an update to an existing game. Many years later, as games scale up in team size, development gets more complex, and this talk shows a wide variety of game dev pitfalls and buttons. To keep in mind, it's an insightful talk that's definitely worth watching, so developers should not miss the opportunity to do so now that it's freely available on the official GD YouTube channel. In addition to this presentation, THEGDC Vault and its accompanying YouTube channel offers numerous other free videos, audio recordings, and slides from many of the recent game developers conference events, and the service offers even more members-only content for DD Vault subscribers. Those who purchased all access passes to recent events, like DD Vault, already have full access to DD Vault, and interested parties can apply for the individual subscription via the DD Vault subscription page. Group subscriptions are also available. Game-related schools and Development studios who sign up for DD Vault Studio subscriptions can receive access via their entire office accompanied by contacting staff via the HGDC Vault Group subscription page. Finally, current subscribers with access issues can contact DD Vault technical support. Gamasutra and DD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. Video Game Deep KC's weekly newsletter from video game industry. Watcher Simon Carlos, DD, Gamasutra co-runner, rounding up the best long-read standout articles videos about games every weekend. This week's highlights include creators building tiny houses in The Sims, impressions of BioWare's much-anticipated album, a whole bunch of new games to check out from the Resident Evil tour reboot to Future Grind through Natural Exodus, and a whole bunch more, actually, almost to the finish line on Programming Game Developers Conference 2019 content. Particularly happy with Vision Track picks this year. From Disney Imagineering throughout on brain-computer interfaces. But lots more big talk announcements this week, including Tetris Effect, Moon Crash, a Panzer Dragoon classic post-mortem, and so on and so forth. We'll try hard, at least, until next time. Simon, curator. Did mine die faster? Goes 10-1 against the top. StarCraft 2nd. Pros. A Daydevilinger and Gadget article. After laying lost to the best Go players in the world, DeepMind has moved on to computer games. The Google-owned artificial intelligence company has been fine-tuning its iTotalki on StarCraft and today showed off its first head-to-head matches against professional gamers. An extreme sports game with a story. Future Grind's developers talk cyberpunk. Samuel X on Ars. Technical article. NOWFUTU origi arrive and DIS here. And I am enjoying it just as much as I expected. In it, you ride bikes on rail-based tracks, and perform stunts that draw from popular extreme sports titles, Equally Ole, SSX, and most of all trails. But there are all sorts of unique spins, but only sort of intended, made possible by the game's futuristic setting. How Resident Evil 2 fell apart, then became one of Capcom's biggest hits. Alex on the Polygon article. Compared to Mega Man and Street Fighter, the first Resident Evil was a more immediate success, putting it ahead of Capcom's historical curve. Resident Evil 2 was thus born, for Capcom to maintain its momentum in the newly christened survival horror genre. Though, Resident Evil 2 had to be better than its predecessor, much like Mega Man 2 and Street Fighter 2. Road to the Eve. Jeremy Gabl West WATCH Me Jump, Joel Couture, Gamasutra article. Gamasutra sat down with Jeremy Gabl, developer of the Excellence in Narrative Nomina technology Me Jump, to talk about the similarities between theater and games, how he took a play about the WNBA and made a game of it, and the importance of having imperfect choices in interactive fiction. Simon, as note, lots more great if game cans popping up on Gamasutra, including Gray Braxton's The Haunted Island Mare Drop, among others. When risking everything pays off Cuphead. Levels. Red Bull YouTube video. 5 years. 3 world records. 1 family. Meet Studio Miri, the makers of Cuphead. The game was built entirely by hand from their own home, with over 3 million copies sold. They reveal the untold tale behind their record-breaking game. While Resident Evil 2, and City of the Dead discusses, Ikarudo Eurogamer article, Ephraim Rose on Dead Shoppers, Indo, as a sneer at the narcotic lullaby of consumerism. And what more succinct symbol of a city helplessly disarmed is there than a police station commanded by the dead? Even better if that police station happens to have been a museum. Simon, Just note, also this more straightforward motherboard review. PIKUNIKUS not your average game about a red blood with legs, calves a McDonald Kotaku article. Do you want to feel like you have taken something mildly hallucinogenic, and you are watching foreign language Kings TV? I have got the game for you. The new PC on the Switch Gamasutra has been one of the few bright spots for me in what has felt like an overly long tenured era in Fortnite's floating sphere exploded, leaving the island covered in snow on zombies and robusta. The Verge article. Fortnite's latest mystery is finally starting to unravel. Not long ago, a floating sphere made of ice appeared in the game, leaving many players to wonder just what was going on. Now we have that answer. Sort of. It exploded, and a mysterious figure inside, called the Ice King, created a massive storm, which covered the entire island in snow.